warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com, and today we have the Johnnie Walker Blue Label Elusive Umami here in my cask. It's 43% ABV, as nearly all Johnnie Walkers, and has a price tag of 308 euros here at Whisky.com in Central Europe. Umami, have you heard that word? Well, it's one of the tastes you're able to find on your tongue. There's this sour, sweet, salty, bitter, and so on. And there's a special taste called umami, and that was found in the 1920s, I think, in Japan. And umami stands for the taste of proteins. And we have very few tasting buds on the tongue for sweetness, for sourness, for saltiness, but there are dozens of umami tasting buds in your tongue, so that we have a very special, differential taste for proteins. Well, that's our past, that's evolution, and this one shows some Japanese characters here on the box, and there is a master blender called Emma Walker, and she worked together with a 3-star chief cook, and his name is Ki Kobayashi, and he mixes Japanese cooking art with French cooking art, and they selected whiskies to create this umami. And it said that that is best savored together with caviar, because the caviar has a lot of umami taste in it, and this will fit perfectly to this whiskey. And I prefer, these caviar is mixed typically with salt, and there you have a special amount of salt in the caviar, and this is, from my point of view, far too much for a whiskey. But that's my personal view. These are special cooks with 3 stars on their cooking, how it's called, hat. Yeah, so this is a very, very fancy box, and able to take this bottle out, and it's really heavy. It's blue in color, so that I do not need this white plastic behind for my green screen. And Johnnie Walker is a whiskey which is where's the front? This is the front, which is a blend. So blended whiskey is a mixture from malt whiskies from different distilleries and added some grain whiskey. And the cheaper the whiskey is, the more grain whiskey, because it's cheap, is added. And the higher the value of the whiskey, of the blended whiskey, is, the less grain whiskey typically is in it. Not always, but most of the time. And this leads to a smoother, more gentle character if you add some percent, say for the Johnnie Walker Blue Label. I heard figures around 20% grain whiskey which is added. So the Johnnie Walker typically has this banderole with his metal, or it's called plumb something, to show this cap is fresh. But how do I open it? Yeah, I tear on it. And yeah, so this is very well sealed. Fruity. And the outside of the bottle is treated with some acid, so it's some matte on it. Very well. So this is definitely a Johnnie Walker, high malt whiskey content, fresh apples, red and green apples. A little bit of nuttiness, shows some sherry cask, and some spiciness showing through, probably from the casks. And even when there's no age statement on this Johnnie Walker Blue Label, this is top of the line of Johnnie Walker. No, third in line. And there's the King George V and some others, which have 400, 500, 800 euros price tags. But this is among the normal Johnnie Walker, one of the very, very best you're able to have. There's a hint of smokiness in it as well. The apples going over to peaches. And there's in the back there is some citrus notes, but oranges, not citrons. Yeah, oranges. And some, the smoky note is some smoked meat. And here you have this umami, probably. Yeah. Cheers. A lot more fruitiness in the taste. Well, berries, red berries, peaches, nectarines, and spiciness in the back coming through from the casks, old casks. A lot of spiciness, peppery, a hint of salt. Very long aftertaste, prickling in all your mouth. And a hint of sweetness in the back. And then there's this oily, gentle grain whiskey component in it. The aftertaste, no bitterness at all. No. So the grain isn't that old that it became bitter. What happens sometimes if you have cheap casks, cheap grain casks. But Johnnie Walker has a bunch of casks for all these millions and dozens of millions bottles worldwide sold, cases worldwide sold. Yeah, so I like this whiskey very, very much. Highly recommended. This is quite expensive. And, well, the holiday season is on the horizon, visible on the horizon. This might be a bottle for an uncle, which you like very much. Yeah. This is for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.